Hi everybody, thank you very much for joining us on our next A Café with Alumni video. Today I have with me Noor, welcome.
Thank you.
And she will be talking about our master's degree. So Noor, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Noor Bruggink. I'm 26 years old and I studied at the Cordon Bleu between 2020 and 2021. So I studied Culinary Innovation Management, and this is a very food-based master's, which is something that I've always been in the industry for. So I studied my undergraduate in studying nutrition and food science at the University of Nottingham, and I've worked in the food industry since. So I first worked as a food technologist, and now I'm working as a product developer for Monty Bojangles, which is a chocolate truffle company.
Thank you very much. So now we have a few questions for you. So why did you choose to study the master's degree at Le Cordon Bleu London?
So I'd always thought is a master's something I wanted to do, and I'd never found something that really stood out to me. And then I found the course on the Le Cordon Bleu website during a summer in 2019 or 2020, and I was like, wow, this is really something that looks exciting and something that I want to get involved with. That's why I chose to do it, and I guess because it covered different areas, so it had very much the business side as well as the food side. Mm-hmm. So because my other degree was more science-based, this was something I thought it was good to get involved with more of the business industry. And
how was your experience?
I had such a good experience at the Cordon Bleu. I loved going to the venue, and it's such a nice place to visit. It's really exciting to walk around and just to know that it's in such a famous venue. I loved being part of it and meeting people from many different backgrounds, mm-hmm. and also just getting the chance to cover so many different aspects. So having the chef demonstrations and also the lectures, it was fantastic.
Great, but did you heard about Birkbeck or even Le Cordon Bleu before?
I'd heard about Le Cordon Bleu, and I'd heard about Birkbeck slightly because I knew it was the evening university. But Le Cordon Bleu was something I'd always thought, because culinary schools, and I thought, wow, I didn't know that they offered more management-based subjects as well. So seeing that, it was fantastic to see.
And how was the knowledge gained from the masters helped your career?
So I actually think that the course enabled me to get my current job in product development, mm-hmm. because I think something with innovation and learning those principles is something that my job kind of liked. I'm not sure, I think that's why I got the job, who knows, but I think it really helped me in my career, just also to critically analyse things better and to think outside of the box more. So
sounds great. So next question then. How do you think that this master's degree compares to other courses?
I think this master's is really special because you get both the Le Cordon Bleu and the Birkbeck side, so you get to meet people from both courses. So at Birkbeck you'd have people on courses from very different subjects because it would be more business, so some people would be in the tech industry, whereas at Le Cordon Bleu it was all very, very much the food industry. But even at Le Cordon Bleu people had different backgrounds from within, so some were from hospitality areas, some people worked for airlines, so it was a good variation, and yeah, nice to have that diversity, I guess.
What was your best experience on the course?
It's a difficult question. I really enjoyed so many aspects. I think one of my favourite experiences were having the guest lecturers come on and for them to share their stories and their enthusiasm for their careers and what they'd done. But also having the chef demonstrations. So there'll be some lectures where we'd have a Le Cordon Bleu chef either they do a lecture as well as a demonstration with the food. And I think for me the fermentation lecture was one that stood out, because I love fermentation. That's what I do at home as well. And it's just seeing them use different techniques and using food that would have gone to waste. So I guess taking into account the sustainability aspect as well. For example, using watermelon to ferment and also using coffee grounds to make kombucha. It was just kind of showing that innovative thinking and showing how different you can use foods.
Okay, so I believe this master's is nothing compared to kind of other courses that you found in the industry at the moment?
Yes, no, definitely very different.
And what was the most important thing that you learned?
For me, because I was doing it on top of my work, so I was working full time. Time management was something I found really difficult. So learning to manage my time, and but I guess from the course perspective, learning the sustainability principles, that's something that I now use in my work, and I try to, if I'm developing a product, think back to it and think, okay, think about the triple bottom line and how the product can not only benefit people but also make a profit and be good for the planet. So I think that's
impressive. Yeah. And this is a really important question for us. What is an average day on the course like?
So for me, as I was working, I'd go to work and then the lectures are taught in the evenings. So it would be for Birkbeck it would be 6 till 9 and Le Cordon Bleu 6:30 till 9:30. So there would be, I'd say around 3 lectures a week, but it could vary depending on what modules you choose. And the lectures, then you'd have a break in the lecture because obviously 3 hours is quite a long time. And then outside of that, you would do any reading that was required for the lecture, or you'd have coursework throughout the semester as well. So you'd work on that outside of the actual lectures.
Makes sense. But did you receive the schedule beforehand?
Yes. So we had the schedule for when the lectures would be for the whole year. So you knew, okay, in spring I'll be busy on Tuesday evenings, for example. You would know that.
So yes, that part is good for the planning.
Yes.
But also, how was the course structure?
So the course was structured, there'd be 3 semesters. So there's the autumn, spring and summer. Within each semester you do either 3, I'd say around 3 modules, but it would depend on your choices because there were some that were compulsory modules, but then you get the choice to do, I think it was 1 or 2 throughout definitely 1 per semester. And that could either then be if you're more interested in finance, that's one that you could choose, or if you're more interested in doing a module on strategic management, for example, it would be very much a personal choice for what you think is better. And then each semester and each module, you'd have your own coursework. So within a module, you could have one of the assignments being a presentation, a group presentation, one of them being an essay, and one of them being a report, for example. And that would be then within those 3 months.
So you had a little bit of everything during the course?
Yes.
Great. And did you have any support during the course?
So we'd be able to ask any questions to lecturers. They were very supportive and very helpful if you did have any issues or any problems that you encountered. For me personally, I think, just generally asking questions, they always welcome questions. So it was a very friendly environment.
I think this is really important too. And what did you find most challenging during your time at Le Cordon Bleu London?
I think the most challenging thing for me was, as I said, time management, just to be able to structure my day and plan it well. In terms of the course itself, I think writing the business plan was something I found quite difficult because it was very new to me. And while we did obviously get a lot of help in the lectures, it had to be something you came up with yourself. So you had to,
of course,
be quite imaginative, I guess. But it did open my eyes because starting a business is something that I always wanted to do. I really hope that one day I will be able to, and writing the business plan was very beneficial for that purpose because you learn how to do it and you get a little bit of insight before, and also you get the understanding from the course that the funding itself isn't that difficult. So I think that's one of the obstacles that I'd always thought in my head was something that was quite challenging to get over, is where do you get the money from? How will I start my own business? But you learn on the course that there's so many different investors and investment opportunities that's something that is very possible. So I guess it stops that mental block.
That's the most important thing. So thank you so much. And in your opinion, what was the best part of studying this master's degree?
I think the best thing is the variation in modules, but also the variety of people that you meet. So you meet people who have just graduated, like the age range is quite vast, so it's nice that you get to meet people that in an undergraduate degree is less common, I guess, because it's more people around your age. But it's nice to see people who have a lot of experience already, and good to build up those connections for who knows in the future you have a business opportunity with them or some kind of work opportunity as well.
Of course. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you were on the first group of the master's degree,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
How was it?
Yes, it was amazing to be part of the first time that it was run. So yeah, really, really enjoyable. And I think it's quite special to be the start of the course.
And was it difficult because of the pandemic?
So we were lucky that we could still have lectures taught online, and we were still able to do group work. during the pandemic. It was obviously, it reduced the chances that we got to go in, but we still got the opportunity in the first semester when it was less severe. It allowed me to still do my full-time work and also do the masters, which was a benefit.
And now, this is one of my favorite questions. What are the exams like in the course?
So at Le Cordon Bleu, there weren't any exams, but at Birkbeck there were. So at Le Cordon Bleu, the majority of the coursework was essay-based or report-based. There were also some group presentations, which was really fun. And then at Birkbeck, the exams were either multiple choice questions, but there were also some short essay questions. So as long as you'd learnt the principles behind, it was something that you could answer quite well. I think there was also maybe one exam where you had longer essay questions, but for the majority, the course is coursework based.
Did you spend any time in the kitchen during this course?
So we ourselves didn't do any cooking or any preparation of food, but we had demonstrations from the chefs who they showed us how to fillet a salmon. That was one of the lectures, and there was also a plant-based lecture where they showed us how to make bolognese, but with as much flavour as well. We're using plant-based foods, so getting the same amount of flavour, but just through different, like using mushrooms, for example. But yes, so we didn't work in the kitchen ourselves, but we did get the experience to see the chef's side.
Great. Did you enjoy that part?
Yes, yeah, I think that was actually one of my favourite parts. It was really nice to learn about why they did what they did, and then also seeing it actually in person. So yeah, and then we also had guest speakers. So we had chocolate manufacturers come in, which was also quite relevant for me now. So learning about different origins of cocoa beans and different flavours you get, which was really, really good. So
that's great. And now, what advice could you give to someone looking to follow in your footsteps?
I think working hard is something that, working hard and planning your time well. And I think also the food industry is such a great place to be. It's amazing to create joy with food, and I think that's kind of the main thing. So everyone needs to eat food. It's exciting to make it something fun. And yeah, I think, work hard and give yourself breaks as well, because that's very important too.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much. Last question then. What are your future plans?
So at the moment I'm very happy in working in the chocolate industry, but I think at some point, as I said, starting a business of my own would be amazing, and I think that's something that for the future I do want to get into. So yeah, maybe do a bit of travelling, live abroad for a bit, and who knows, start something.
We wish you all the luck anyway, whatever your future plans are.
Thank you.
And that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you all for attending to this video. See you next time.
Bye bye, thank you.